Lethal Company is a game with a lot of scrap, pieces of metal, food, things that are probably possessed, and other dangerous items. As someone who makes YouTube videos, I have to do what we do best. Let's put them in a tier list. Now, I don't think that Lethal Company needs any sort of introduction because everyone on the planet has played this game. If you don't know what this game is, that's actually impressive. I don't know how you did that. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Lethal Company Scrap tier list, with S being risk your life for, and then ignorable being the bottom. You can just leave it behind if you're just trying to get back to the ship quickly. Without further ado, let's start off with the first one. We have the air horn. This is probably the most annoying item that a friend can get. If this thing gets into the hands of someone that loves making noise for no reason, they're going to use it, and it's going to be a nightmare. For that reason, I would say it's B tier. The apparatus is pretty interesting. It's one of like those high risk, high reward type of item here. It only spawns inside the factory interiors, and if you take it out of the wall, it basically just shuts the power out. Basically, when the power goes out in the facility, it just kind of makes it dark. So you can't really see anything, or monsters become more aggressive, which is pretty bad. If you just run out really quick and, get back to the ship, everything should be fine. And normally it's just around 80 credits, so either way, it's always worth picking up. So I'm just going to put it in A. The only thing holding it back from S tier is if a friend takes it out early, it becomes very annoying.
Fair enough.
All right, I'm gonna go through fire exit.
Okay, okay.
Alright, so for like... Oh, hi.
Okay, this one is fun. The beehive. This is one of the most risky items to get in the game. This being the only place the bees spawn. If you are caught up with those bees and you run out of stamina, you're done. But it being worth up to 150 credits makes the whole thing worth it. And also what's nice is multiple of them can spawn around the ship. So if you're feeling greedy, you can take multiple. But I'd say that this is our first S tier item. Next up is the brass bell. It's a bell and you can't ring it. C tier. All right, the big bowl. I like the big bowl. I don't know why, but it's just kind of fun finding one of these. It's just a big screw, and to me, that's funny. I don't really know why. I give it a B tier. All right, the bottles. The thing with the bottles is once you find them, you got drinks for the boys. You take it back to the ship, and you can enjoy some of these things. We don't know what's in it. We don't know what was in it, or if they even have liquid in them. We don't know that. It's fun to imagine it's like soda or something. I don't know. I'd say it's fine. I'd say it's a B tier. A tier. Ooh, here is a really good one. The cash register. If you find a cash register, it's basically like finding a beehive, but without having to worry about the bees. It's one of those rare items that just feels really nice to get. The only downside is that it is very heavy, so it kind of just takes a long time to take it back to the ship. But if you're careful and you know what you're doing, it's really good. So I'm gonna give it an A tier. All right, next up is the chemicals. I feel like everyone that has played this game and picked up the chemicals has done a Walter White impression at least once while holding it.
Someone cooked here.
But it's worth a good amount, so I'm gonna put it in B tier. All right, the clown horn. This is one of the best items in the game. I love this thing. To me, it's basically muscle memory at this point. If I pick up a clown horn, I gotta honk it at least once. But if more than one person has one of these, your game's gonna get a lot louder in a short period of time. It's an S tier item. Like, that's one of the best items in the game. All right, the coffee mug. This item has 4 variants to it, which I think is really fun. It has the 3 morning one, the cloud, the cow one, and the red one. And obviously, come on, the cloud is the best one. Just look at this little guy. Just look at him. C tier. Okay. This next one is a tough one. The comedy mask. I'd say this is the most well-known scrap in the game. Because of the clips of people putting on the mask.
A mask. I found a mask.
I don't know what...
Yeah. I'm putting on the mask.
What's that do?
And it's an interesting item. At face value, it's a pretty average piece of scrap, but it is a little bit worse than that because if you have a friend that is trigger happy, it can get pretty annoying. It can ruin the run if they are not careful. So for that, I'm gonna put it in B tier. The cookie mold pan, it's basically just the metal sheet, but you can just you can make cookies with it. So that's pretty great. C tier. The DIY flashbang. This is an interesting one. So it's not worth a lot. In fact, it's actually only worth up to 28 credits, which is not great at all, but it's a really helpful item to find. It can save you from many different monsters, the Forest Keeper being the most notable one. It may not be worth a lot, but it is really helpful to find. It's just a stun grenade that you could buy from the company, but you just find it inside. Maybe it can save you. Maybe it can save you from a forest giant. Get his, nasty, grimy fingers off of you so you can scurry off into the darkness. A tier. The dustpan. Dude, nobody likes the dustpan. It's not worth much, and it just reminds me of doing chores. This one sucks. That is our first F tier. Ignorable. Leave this thing behind if you are in a rush. Just get this out of my sight. I don't want to be reminded of doing chores. Thank you. The next one is the egg beater. It's not too special. I mean, you can use it to scramble the eggs using the cookie sheet, I guess. I don't really know what to say about this one. It's just a whisk. I don't know. C tier. Fancy lamp. It's worth a lot, up to 128 credits, but the thing is when I pick this thing up, it covers most of my screen. Even though it emits light, it makes it so I can see less, because the light actually blocks what I'm looking at. I don't really know how to describe it. It's just the light is like a solid object. It's weird, but it's still a good item. It's definitely worth taking back, as it is worth up to 128 credits. So I'm gonna put it in A tier. C tier. The gift box. I like the gift box. It's actually a really unique item, because if you take it back to the ship as a box, if you open it at like the right time or like on the right moon or something, it'll actually give you something. It's not always random. It'll give you something depending on where you are and what quota you're on and stuff like that. It's actually kind of crazy. I've seen like an exploit where I've seen people get like 10 cash registers from this thing because they waited it like till a certain quota. But it's a fun item. You might get junk, but you might get something good. So I'm gonna give that one an A tier. All right, the gold bar. It's worth a ton. Up to 210 credits, which that's crazy. But it also weighs a ton. Good luck getting back to the ship in time while holding a freight train in your inventory. It's also really rare, so it's very satisfying to find. So I kind of, I gotta get an S tier. Everyone gets excited about that.
I'm jealous!
B tier. The hairbrush is just another item I just don't like. It's just not fun to find. I don't know why. It's just, I got long hair. I gotta brush my hair, and that's not fun. So it's another ignorable item for me. The hair dryer is, it's worth a lot, but it's also very annoying. So yeah, I'm gonna put that one in B tier. The jar of pickles. The jar of pickles. That is a great item. I don't know why I stood up. I got really excited about that one. It's really fun to get. I don't know why. I really like the jar of pickles. It's one of the best items in the game. Just in my opinion, it's not, obviously stats wise, it's not the best. So I'm gonna put it in A tier. Just for me. I love it. All right, the key. It's worth basically nothing. It's only worth 3 credits. But the thing is, in Lethal Company, I am the key guy. I will keep a key on me at all times, and I will go back to the ship if I don't have one to get a key. No matter what, I will get that locked door open. Even though it's not worth anything, it's an S tier item for me. All right, the large axle. This is the old reliable of the heavy scrap. I find these all the time. They're not too special, but I can't really ignore them. So I'd say solid B tier, because they're pretty mid. All right, the laser pointer. This is such a fun item in the game. I love finding this thing because when you get this thing, it's so fun to pretend like you're a turret. Some of my favorite moments playing this game have been me pretending like I was a turret and scaring people. It's also happened to me too. It's really convincing, because I'm pretty sure it's the same laser that's used from turrets. But yeah, it's a really fun item. And honestly, I have risked my life for it, and I would again. That's an S tier item. I love that thing. All right, up next is the Magic 7 ball. I don't really know why it's a 7. It's a 7. I don't know. It's worth up to 72 points, which is great. I just wish I could use it, because if I could, that would actually make it probably like an A tier. But for now, it's a B tier. The magnifying glass is kind of just like a mid item to find. I think it's not too great, but not too bad. I mean, if you want to like pretend like you're Sherlock Holmes or something, I guess, then that's great. I don't know. B tier. The old phone. No, I hate this thing. That's the worst item in the game. I'm not even kidding. I actually hate that thing. The sound is obnoxious, and it's constant. I don't even know if you can turn it off. It's so bad. All right, next up is the painting. This thing is actually pretty good. It's worth up to 124 credits. I think it should be worth more because it's a painting, and it's probably done by like Pablo Picasso or something like that. But I mean, it's still good, so I'm gonna give it an A tier. The perfume bottle. This thing smells too good. Gamers don't like smelling good. C tier. Okay, whose pills are these? What kind of pills are they, and what are they for? And they're not even worth anything. Where did this come from? Ignorable. The plastic fish is silly. C tier. The Coca-Cola. We got the Coca-Cola here. Sorry, Pepsi fans, but that's just how it is. There's only Coke in Lethal Company. Yeah, that's pretty great. It's worth up to 90 credits. I guess soda is like rare or something, because I don't know why you pay that much for that. But you know what? I'm not complaining. If I find this thing, I'm taking it with me. Pretty great item. A tier. All right, the remote to the ship. This item is really fun because if you keep turning off the lights and people keep trying to turn it back on, it's really fun to just mess with your teammates. It's not worth much, but just like the factor of being able to mess with your friend is really great. So I'm gonna give it a solid B tier. The ring. They gotta make it so you can actually put this thing on. That'd be so cool. Anyway, B tier. Okay, the robot toy, same thing as the old phone. I cannot stand this thing, but at least you can turn it off. That's the only thing. That's the big difference, is that you can turn the thing off, but it can be quite a pain because you have to drop it and pick it back up until it's off. And if you accidentally drop it again after you turn it off, then you're in trouble. C tier. Slightly better than the old phone. The rubber duck. Dude, I love this thing. It has some of the weirdest values to it. It's worth from 2 credits, only 2, all the way up to 100. I don't care if it's 100. I don't care if it's 2. I am risking my life for this thing, and I am keeping it in the ship with me. All right, this is arguably the hardest item to get, but it's also the most useful. With the shotgun, you can kill almost every monster that crosses your path. While it is very dangerous to get out of the hands of a nutcracker, I recommend at least trying if you have a shovel or a sign, because it's really fun to mess around with.
Oh shit, there's a backer,
I got this, I got this. So I'm gonna say that's obviously an S tier. All right, next up is the steering wheel. This item isn't worth much at all. It's only worth up to 32, but it is pretty fun to pretend like you're driving a car. I'm gonna put that in C tier. All right, look at you. You got yourself a free shovel. Congratulations. Yeah. Woo. A tier. The tattered metal sheet. This is the most boring scrap in the game. I don't know if anyone likes this. This thing sucks. Ignorable. Who wants that? Next up is the tea kettle. B for British. The teeth are same instance kind of as the robot and the old phone. It is worth up to 84 credits, and I mean the noise isn't as bad, but it still can trigger the eyeless dogs, which is just not ideal. So I'm also going to just put it in C tier. It's not great. Toothpaste, man, get this out of here. Put that right next to the perfume. No one likes good smelling stuff. The Rubik's Cube is a pretty fun item. It doesn't really do anything, but it's fun to look at. Nice variety for if you're just finding a bunch of tattered metal sheets and then you come across a toy cube. It's like a little fun surprise. I don't know. B tier. B for block. All right, tragedy is just comedy, but it's just whiny. Dude, the guy cries. This thing makes crying sounds. C for crybaby. The V-type engine, also known as the Lego mini kit. I mean, just another one of those like reliable items you can find. I'm gonna put it in B tier, right next to the large axle. The whoopee cushion is just a meme item. It's not worth anything really. It's only worth 20 credits. It's stupid. It's a fart joke. It's a fart joke in Lethal Company, and I think it's hilarious. So, A tier. All right, look at you. You got yourself a free shovel. Congratulations. Also, A tier. All right, so that has been my totally original idea for a video ranking all of the scrap from Lethal Company. This was actually a pretty fun video to make. I will also be including this tier list down in the description below if you want to make your own list. And I love you guys. I love you guys very much. Please like and subscribe if you love me back. That would be great. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.